good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Bay Lazar and Baie Sante in the Seychelles. Starting off by zooming out, of course we're going to start in Bay Lazar here. Keep it alphabetical. We are on the main island of Baie. As you can see, the capital of the Seychelles right here, Victoria. Let me zoom out even more so you can see exactly where we are. We are in the Indian Ocean, and technically the Seychelles is part of Africa. It is an African country. You can see Madagascar just north of it there. So here we are in Bay Lazar. It's fairly touristy here. This is the actual Bay Lazar here. Most of the actual residents, people who actually live in the Seychelles, are over in this corner. But this is the more touristy section. You can see there's two very distinct beaches here. The Kempinski, that's the helipad, the Kempinski resort here is the main draw for tourists. We're staying right on the beach in luxury living. Oh, for those of you who saw my video on Baie in Brazil, remember when I was like, I thought there was a picture underwater, but I can't find it. That's because it wasn't there. It was right here. It was this little slideshow of beautiful little, it's an angel fish, right? No, I don't remember what they're called. This little fishies here swimming in the coral, including this little fishy ready to dive. That was the picture I was thinking of when I was recording Brazil. My mind was already in the Seychelles, like it is for a lot of the time. A lot of the tourist things I read said that this beach is a lot quieter than this beach, and that makes a lot of sense because the resorts are right there, not so much over here. But it's just a hop, skip, and a jump away. You can see little settlements there. So for the most part, it's beautiful landscape. It looks like a golf course right there, is it? I think it's just terraced little homes there. You can see all their swimming pools, yeah. In 3D, so you can really see what we're looking at here. It's quite mountainous, isn't it? We're not in it anymore. Here we go. And there's a big spine running between the area here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the tablet. We're not in my atlas because my map of the Seychelles and the atlas is microscopic because they're very tiny islands. So we're playing on the tablet instead. The name Lazare comes from Lazare Picot, who in 1742 discovered the island of Baie. The Seychelles is one of those few places on Earth that was totally uninhabited until it was discovered by usually someone from Europe. He'd also go on to discover the other islands over here that we're going to talk about. It's called Saint Anne because he found it on Saint Anne's Day. I didn't write down the year. I guess it was 1742 as well if I didn't write down the year. I looked it up. Saint Anne's Day is July 26th, which is probably a couple days before I upload this video. Nice timing. So why don't we head over there? That's pretty much all I have to say about this area, to be honest. This area is far more interesting. This is Praslin here, and you can see it's split in half between the region of Grand Anse and Baie Sainte Anne. Up here is Curieuse Island, which is also part of Baie Sainte Anne. This island has a very interesting history. From 1829 to 1965, it was a leper colony. Back when leper colonies were a thing. In 1967, there was a terrible fire on this island. And that really matters because of the Coco de Mer trees. Sadly, this little tag doesn't have any pictures with it, but we'll see other pictures around Curieuse Island. Let's look at the beach while I talk. So the fire struck this island, which is terrible because the coco de mer only grows on this island, and I think in some parts of Praslin as well. And, once we lose those, we lose it. There's a giant tortoise. We'll talk about these guys in a second. I think this was, I wish I could zoom it in. This looks like the doctor's house at the leper colony, I think. Looks like it. So, huge conservation efforts were made to protect this island. In 1979, the national park was established here to protect as much of the landscape as possible. And even more importantly, not long after that, they introduced the Aldabran giant tortoises. Someone said in a trivia stream one time, it might have been Veer, hi Veer, that said in their language they did not have, here's the national park, they didn't have a difference in their language between turtle and tortoise. So the difference in English is that this is a tortoise. Tortoises live on land, turtles live in the water. So you have sea turtles and then you have freshwater turtles, but tortoises only live on land. They do not go in the water. That is the difference, at least in English. So on Aldabra, the tortoises were almost going extinct from overhunting way back in the day. So they were brought here to basically just do their thing and create more tortoises and repopulate. And now there's around 400 on Curieuse Island. And actually, if I go, did you see the mangroves there? Oh, I can't go back. It would take too long. Lots and lots of mangroves here along the coast. Over here at the official sanctuary, we can even see baby giant tortoises. This is the life right here. What's great is that on this beach you can go right up to them. You can pet them, you can feed them. There's the beautiful Seychelles flag. You can just hang out with the tortoises. Look at the babies. Just like the size of like a regular turtle. But they'll get massive pretty soon. What I think is really interesting is that there's only 2 places in the world you can find giant tortoises. One is here in the Seychelles, and the other's in the Galapagos, which are on the complete opposite ends of the planet. So how exactly did that happen? I'd like someone to tell me. This is the longest boardwalk in the Seychelles, by the way. Cool fact. How did that happen? How come the only giant tortoises, I think the ones on Galapagos are way bigger, but how did that happen? I would like to know. Notice that every tortoise has a little GPS tracker on it. So if you try to steal a baby, shove it in your backpack, you'll get scanned. They'll check your bags and find if you shoved any tortoises in there, which obviously don't do that. Don't bother these guys. They're just chilling. Their whole purpose in life is to relax and make more tortoises. Just let them do it, please. But Curieuse Island is a beautiful little corner of the world. We haven't seen any coco de mer, have we? I guess we'll see them all on the other island. It's just a regular coconut. In yesterday's video, I was like, is coco de mer the largest nut or the largest seed? So I just googled it. It turns out both. It is the largest nut, and its seeds are the world's largest seeds. So I was right in both senses. This is Turtle Rock. One last turtle. Look at them chomping down there, making their own little ASMR eating sounds. They're so goofy. Oh, so you can just go right up and pet them. They just chill out on the beach, just living the dream, to be honest. Just living in the Seychelles. Panoramic turtle pond. But just little turtle guys, alright. Enough turtles. Let's head over here and see if we can't find some coco de mer. Otherwise, I'm just going to pull up a picture of them. But I know I've seen them somewhere. So what really dominates Baie Sainte Anne and the whole island of Praslin in general is the Vallée de Baie National Park, which, dun dun dun, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Yay, let's read it. It says, in the heart of the small island of Pralin, the reserve has the vestiges of a natural palm forest preserved in almost its original state. The famous coco de mer, from a palm tree once believed to grow in the depths of the sea, is the largest seed in the plant kingdom. Yeah, so these things would wash up on shore in mainland Africa, so people thought that they grew under the water. Look at these weird plants here. Where's the cocos? Where's the cocos? There's a little one. Oh, come on. These birds are really cool. They're endemic. They're black parrots. They only live in this national park on this little island. It's very interesting, I think. Let's find some coco de mer. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to Google it. But I know I saw pictures in these slideshows somewhere. Vallée de Mai, which, if you don't know your French, is the May Valley, as in April, May, June, July, May. Aha. It's got a big old hole in it. But this is the coco de mer. And yeah, if it looks suggestive, it certainly does, doesn't it? It looks like a woman's backside. That's some breadfruit. I was reading about how this one, I think it was an English guy, who thought that the Vallée de Mai could have been the Garden of Eden, and that the coco de mer was the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Oop, ugly spider. Sorry about that. With both sides of the nut containing good and evil. And that the breadfruit trees was the tree of life. That's pretty neat. That's a fun theory. There's like 20 places in the world that people are certain was the Garden of Eden. Let's see Mont Azur. See this beautiful landscape here. Seychelles is truly a beautiful little tropical paradise, isn't it? Little friend there, a little gecko maybe, I think. It is certainly a very beautiful spot in the world. Oh, there he is again. Maybe in a knoll, but I think it's a gecko. Let's look at New Emerald Cove. Sounds lovely. I haven't really poked around town here on Google Earth. So I was reading about this. This is an abandoned resort that was apparently ran by the Italian mafia that collapsed, and now it's all crumbled up here. Allegedly, right? Let's see. Baie Sante. I'm sure it's pronounced Sante because people here they speak English because it was an English colony for a long time, but it was also a French colony for a hot minute, and it really affected the language here because everyone that lives here, remember, there's no indigenous people. They're pretty much all from France. All their descendants are from France, so they speak a French Creole called Seychellois, which is really fun to say. Alright, we're going to find some more coco de mer somewhere. Here's the Pralin Museum. They got some fruit bats. Some more ferns there. A coconut. Not a coconut. A pineapple. A pineapple. Lots of little succulents there. Some more fruit. Bunnies. That's cute. Come on. Coco de mer. Oh, it's gorgeous. I would never get out of this water. There's one with a bunch of little holes in it. We're gonna find some more. Good, and there's these beautiful rock formations all throughout the waters here. Surely a combination of sea and wind and salt water, creating these gorgeous rocks. Little fruit bats. I think bats are adorable. Horizontal palm tree. Oh, and then we'll look at the snorkeling next. You gotta love a horizontal palm tree. Perfect place for Instagram. Making little hearts out of shells. Alright, we're going to look at the snorkeling site, and then I'm about to show you some coco de mer. Let's see the snorkeling. Look at these. Little spiky rocks. More of these beautiful rock formations, and we can go under the water, go snorkeling, and see all the little fishy friends living just under the surface of this beautiful turquoise water. Oh, is that a discus? I think. I'm not sure. I'm not a fishy person. He's snorkeling away. Oh, about to dive. And this is a turtle. I think a hawksbill turtle, maybe? Not positive. Let me know what turtle that is. So yeah, that's a turtle. This is a turtle. Not a tortoise. Because turtles swim. Awesome. Alright, let's do this. Let's open a new tab and type in Coco Demir. See, there's world's largest, and I just googled that. But here they are, the Coco Demir images. They certainly look like that, don't they? That is the Coco Demir. It's really suggestive. Look at this one. That's gonna get me demonetized. I gotta be careful. Anyway, that's Coco Demir. Let me check my notes, make sure I got everything I wanted to say. It looks like the only thing I have left is that Praslin was used occasionally as a hideout for pirates and a stopover for Arab traders, but that's about all that I've got. The rest is just beautiful, beautiful Seychelles. So let's end it here so I can stop yapping. I highly encourage you to explore these islands yourself, and maybe you'll find more pictures of Coco Demir. I swear I saw a bunch of them in these slideshows, and now I can't find the ones that I tapped on. That's what always happens with these videos. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing. Next, we are actually going to do a video with maps. We're going to head over to Kazakhstan, and we're going to see what I call some Soviet shenanigans. Soviet shenanigans in many different forms. So you're going to have to subscribe so you see what I mean. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. Good night.